Hello everybody and welcome to another video. We're at Ventari's Refuge, another reason to come back here. This is the Hearts of the North. We're continuing on. Remember a couple of videos ago I was like, oh, is it 4 mini missions or is it 6 mini missions? It is 4. I've had a look. It is definitely 4. I don't know why I thought it might have been 6. Maybe that's just a part of me wishing that the Hearts of the North was a little bit longer. But yeah, so we want to come here to Ventari's Refuge so that we can get out into Ettin's back for the next thing. Last we heard in the story, they were all the way up here. So it's a pretty big leap here to Ventari's Refuge, as you might imagine. I remember this was the point. You remember when I spoke about how there was hold on, let me add some heroes. There we go. Yeah, I remember. Do you remember what I said about before about how it was kind of supposed to all come out in one update kind of thing, or it seemed like it was supposed to? Let's unequip the bow again. There we go. And it was all supposed to come out in one update, but there was like a bug or something that stopped it all coming out at once. Well, it was after that second mini-mission that we saw in the last 2 episodes. After that, that's when kind of everything stopped. And when the content came out, we like all completed it. And my god, because the Hearts of the North never told you specifically where to go, the result was a lot of people thought that you could make progress, but we just didn't know where. So for hours and hours and hours, there was this mad rush and all this excitement from everyone because everybody wanted to figure out exactly where we had to go, how we could get to the next section, and you could not move in the Maguma jungle for finding an outpost with 100 people in it, just multiple districts of everybody just standing around hoping that there was going to be a way to go. Eventually, I think John Stummy turned around, or I think it was John Stummy in charge at that time. He turned around and he said, "Oh, hey guys, look, we're sorry. It's bugged out. We kind of need to do a quick update to let you do it." But it was like over the weekend, so slowly it died away. And then eventually the update did eventually come out, and we got to keep playing. But it was amazing. It really was. And coming all the way down here for the next item really wasn't something I was expecting. I was hanging around Druid's Overlook mostly, to be honest. I was around there all the time. I thought there would be something in the Sage Lands now, since the last one was in the Majesty's Rest. I wonder, and I always wonder stuff like this, but I do genuinely wonder if when they were designing Hearts of the North originally, they wanted some other mini missions that took you through the Sage Lands and the Silverwood and stuff, but in the end they like got cut out. Maybe, and this is massive speculation, this is a huge leap, but maybe the bug was that they did have missions written here, but they were just poorly implemented, and in the end they had to cut them out. So the bug was because these weren't here, so they just chopped them out and said, alright, you can start off straight here from Ventari's. That would have been kind of horrible, really. But, you know, it's a possibility. It's something that could have happened. Hello, Hember. Did we ever get anything from you? Did we get this Crichton Cuirass in the end? I guess we probably did. That's actually quite high armor. 80's max, so 71's not too bad. I do miss that about Prophecies with all the collectors everywhere. I hope there are a lot of collectors in Guild Wars 2 that are all over the place, but from what we've seen of beta footage, I've started to see more and more and more of it now. It doesn't look like they've got a collector system in there at all anymore. It's more, if you want unique stuff, if you want cool things, instead of having collectors, you just you complete like the renown or the heart quests, and then whatever NPC that corresponds with that heart will then sell you stuff, like interesting things, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. I liked it in Guild Wars 1, where pretty much every enemy had their own unique loot that they drop, and then you could trade that in with various people around the world. So I always liked the collector system, especially in the later ones, where they actually had more interesting stuff to give, or more unique stuff to give. In fact, I liked the armor collectors, really, in Prophecies. The problem was, obviously, that the Prophecies one, particularly when you got to Crystal Desert, you could use collectors for max armor level stuff. If you remember, I did mention this in Prophecies, you could do that. However, the drawback of that was that you couldn't then, I think it's just inscriptions you couldn't put on it, you couldn't customize them to your tastes, which meant you were pretty much gimped out, right? So it was always better to spend all the money on the stuff at Drogner's Forge. Way back when, like, it used to be like 15k for the whole set, pretty much, of your original armor, and then if you wanted the elite armor, it'd be 15k for every individual piece. But I remember how expensive that used to be, like, first playing the game, like, actually finally getting your max level gear. It was really, really hard to do, and you used to get all the money. Good times. But then again, I also remember, like, Prophecies days, everything sold for loads and loads of money. Like, the difference between a 19% enchantment buff weapon and a 20% was the difference of, like, 100k. Like, that was not uncommon to see people selling stuff for that amount, so I don't know. It's always weird for me. I always kind of remember there never being any money in the game early on, but I guess the truth is it was just my character didn't have much money. Because way back then I was actually really young when I first started playing this, if I think about it now. I was what, 15, 16 maybe? Maybe a bit younger than that. It's kind of nuts how long this game's been with me. Anyway, Here is the broken sword. So just out here, it's really not that hard to find. Well, what I've been trying to do while I've been playing Hearts of the North is just having a quick look on the wiki. Oh, okay, that's where the item is, and then just closing it again, so that hopefully I know the general area, but I kind of get sort of lost and kind of have to look for it, just so that it's kind of similar to what real players would be doing here. But it's not working. I've just been finding them straight away. Anyway, here we go. Here's the broken sword. A broken sword lies on the ground. The make of the blade is familiar. You've seen these before, standard issue for the White Mantle. A small battle appears to have been fought here, and signs of movement suggest that it carried forward into Aurora Glade. The scrying pool should be able to show you what happened here. Okay, I've come this far. Yeah, this is actually really cool. They will once again take us into an explorable area version of a mission, which is really awesome. Again, it makes me think that maybe there could have been a couple of other missions, because obviously you had the wilds. Why wouldn't they do one for the wilds there? That'd be cool. Bloodstone Fen as well. You know, reasons to go back, especially Bloodstone Fen, considering there's a freaking bloodstone there, and we've never been able to go back to that bloodstone. Just another reason I think why the bloodstone lore seems so off. There is actually there was a video I saw where there was some guy on his personal story in Guild Wars 2, and there was like a book about a bloodstone, but no, there's no real lore, so I don't know how much bloodstone stuff's going to be in Guild Wars 2, or how much it'll be expanded on, but could be interesting anyway. So we'll speak to the scrying pool in just a second when it actually targets it. There we go. The scrying pool begins to react as you approach. Thoughts of the broken sword fixed firmly in your mind. Is that just the same every time, but the item changes? Ridiculous. So I'm not going to make the same mistake this time. Let's equip Kieran's bow. We need to sort out our inventory, man. Are we full? We're almost full, but we'll sort that out later. I've got so much random equipment, like the Droknar stuff. We didn't use much Droknar stuff in the end. Oh wow. Okay, so scrying pool. Show me the story of the broken sword. This really starts to get really filled up with bloated stuff, because like you can even click past visions. The scrying pool really does tell you a lot once you've completed everything. But yeah, but the broken sword. Let's do it. Aurora Glade. And we get to come back here, which is pretty damn sweet. Hey Miku, how's it going? She said, what do you want? Are you staring at me? You want some of this? Do you? You never have unique dialogue for us. What's up with that, Miku? I love these little things. These are so cool. Just another little thing that I like about the Maguma. Can we not go that way? No, we cannot go that way. Oh, come on. They didn't even put in like a bullshit excuse for why you can't. They just put an invisible barrier there. Real nice. Okay, so Aurora Glade, if you don't remember, this is the place where the portal to the Henge of Den Ravi was. This is that area, and we had to do all that stuff with the crystals, and I got really lucky when I Let's Played this. Actually, something I didn't mention. What I did with the End of Eye of the North, if you were like around there, what I did was like a scavenger hunt thing, and I've set up on a lot of my videos like annotations that you can follow with clues to other parts of the Let's Play, right? And if you do it all, there's some like hidden videos on my channel that you can end up watching if you go through all of it. But I never mentioned when I did that. I picked some very specific places, and one of those annotations is at this point in the Let's Play. And I picked all of those areas because those were quite significant points in the Let's Play for me. I never really explained that when I did the little scavenger hunt, but this was particularly a really kind of significant part of the Let's Play, really, because we got so lucky here. I don't think I've really... Come on, Miki, you can stay up. I really don't like Spirit Shackles. It's one of those annoying skills that if you're using as a Mesmer, it's like, oh, damn, they are literally draining my energy like mad here. If you're using as a Mesmer, it always feels like really naff, like you never really see it take much of an effect. But when it's being used against you, if you're a ranger or if you're a dervish or an assassin in particular, it's just so annoying. It will just completely turn you off, shut you down. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I picked all those reasons, all those kind of spots for a reason. And the reason that I picked this one was because we were really lucky when that happened. If you went back and watched that video, basically the mission had that it stated, I was doing it solo at the time, and for the mission what we had to do was compete with I alone had to compete against a load of White Mantle as they were running to try and capture these crystal shards. Essentially, there was no possible way that there was no feasible way that I thought I could do it as a he actually dodged it by shadow stepping. That's amazing. There was no way I thought I could complete it. It was just ridiculously... I still to this day think it was almost impossible to do. But we went in and I was at a situation when I was filming that video, we'd started to struggle as we were going through the Maguma. There was that particularly really long fight with Hableon on the Bloodstone that literally took me about an hour to kill him. Like, I shit you not, it took about an hour just to kill this one guy. It was obviously all cut down in the final video, but it took a long time. There were quite a few other missions as well. The other one, the Wilds, when we were doing that, getting through a lot of those gates. Am I actually going to lose this mini-mission? I suppose I don't at the start, so I don't mind that much, but Jesus, these guys are way stronger than they were before. Please leave. It's because I've been crippled the whole time, so I can't do anything about it. Miku's back up. Maybe she can save me? Maybe? Go away! Why are you still chasing me? What, am I in hard mode or something? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we've been having trouble in the Maguma jungle. A lot of trouble, and it was a lot of effort to keep going with the solo thing. So I got to this mission, and I'd always, when I was going through solo Prophecies, I'd always had in my head clear what the really hard missions were. In particular, if you've watched it, you'll know that Thirsty River, that was a very, very hard one. But that was one of the really hard ones that I thought could actually be possible for me to complete. So I was kind of sitting there thinking, right, well, I can do that one. But this one, this particular one, Aurora Glade, I couldn't see any way that it was going to be possible. It seemed ridiculous. But we went in anyway, and I got lucky. I got really, really lucky. There was some kind of a bug happened and it glitched out, and I managed to complete it just by doing one quick run, and that was a complete fluke. I went into filming that whole video with no hope of being able to complete it, and it was at a point during the Let's Play. Yes, finally, can we please kill one of them? There we go. It was at a point during the Let's Play where things had been getting really hard, but I'd gone so far with the solo thing, there was no way I was ever going to stop myself and say, right, I'm going to finish off the Let's Play doing it with an actual team. There was no way I was going to stop doing the Let's Play. It was like either make or break for me. It was, I'm going to play this mission and complete it solo, or the Let's Play will probably end. And I knew that as I was going into that mission, so I really had my fingers crossed. I was so hoping that something good would happen. Somehow I'd manage to get through it, because I'm telling you what, I was on a really thin edge. I was like, I would not have tried that mission too many times because I couldn't see any possible way for it to have happened. But we got lucky, and it went through, and we had no problems. And so for me, I know this is taking me ages to say, but for me, that was always a significant part of the Let's Play, because if that bug hadn't happened, I can pretty safely say I don't think I'd be sat here right now. I probably would have just stopped doing stuff at that time in the Let's Play. I get some people contact me and they're like, oh yeah, I've been watching you since, since like you were at Yak's Bend, and only like you had like 50 subscribers. But that's not true. All the way through Prophecies, we didn't have 50 subs till we were in the Jade Sea. Mostly through Prophecies, there were only a couple of you guys watching, and it really, I don't know, it was just at a point for me where it got really hard, and the payoff starting wasn't to feel like it was there. And yeah, that could have very much been the end of the Let's Play, but we got lucky. Something happened, we got lucky. I did continue the Let's Play, and then at the time as well, you might remember with Prophecies, I wasn't sure if I was going to do factions either, because at the time I was like, oh, I'm looking for a job, and I thought that as soon as I got the job I wouldn't have time to play anymore, particularly for a solo challenge. The amount of effort that goes into that, I wouldn't have been able to. But yeah, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be doing any of that stuff. I was really close to ending it, and nothing else would have happened. I wouldn't be sat here right now. So yeah, I didn't actually go into filming this video planning on saying that little story, but that is why that's one of the things that I have people go to on that little scavenger hunt at the end of Eye of the North. So yeah, all of them have got little stories that I can't remember all the different ones I've picked anymore, but they do all have little stories that I never really mentioned while I was recording. But yeah, so it's nice to be back at Aurora Glade. Anyway, it looks like we're having just as much trouble as we ever did. Oh, Miku. There's lots of dialogue, of course. Where are we going? I think we're just going to the Crystal Shard, so you pretty much just fight your way through this as if it was the mission again, which is a little bit crap, I guess, but whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of dialogue here, though, but where I think it's a lot more linear, this one, than the others. I don't know why I'm picking up these Confessor orders, because I promise you guys I'm not going to spend them by the time we finish this. I'm probably just going to throw them in the bin or something. I don't know, if we get enough Medals of Honor and stuff to get another Oppressor weapon, or one of those... not monumental weapons, what are they? Like historic weapons, weapons named after the characters. If we get enough, I might do that and show you guys, but generally the rewards from this I don't really care about. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, there is a lot of dialogue here, and we have missed a couple of bits in Hearts of the North, and I do feel a bit bad about that. But I think that where this one's a lot more linear, we should be able to get it all. But there is a lot... Again, oh god, that reminds me, I haven't actually put in the last episode the description, the bit of dialogue we missed. Oh dear, it's not amazing if I remember rightly. It's not like, oh, I love you, Miku, and then they sort of elope. It's nothing like that. It's just some minor little fluff, I guess. But yeah, I might even put that in this description as well, just to make it up for you guys, so that you can see it there. We've been going 15 minutes. I hope that I don't have to cut this one either. I didn't intend to split the previous one either when I went in, but I also intended to cut it when we were in the Maguma jungle. I was just going to cut it till we found the item. What did we find? It was like a tapestry shred or something, wasn't it? I was going to cut it. Can Miku use Mark of Death, please? Oh, she was very clever. You see that? She used it on the Mentor so that we could spike him out, and this guy was low. That was obviously pure luck that happened, but that was really, really good. But yeah, I wasn't going to cut the previous one, but in the end I ended up like talking the whole way through to the Iome, and which I'm happy about, because again, Maguma, man. Maguma. What's not to like?